Yippee!
Hi guys, and welcome to Modding Fallout New Vegas Part 2, the Ultimate Edition. Now, there are a few aims in this video. The first one is to get Project Nevada installed and running. The second aim is to teach you about compatibility patches, what they are and why they are needed. And I'm also going to be covering what to do when you install mods that add new things to the heads-up display, especially if those things are things that can be controlled by the OneHUD mod. Now, Project Nevada requires that you have the New Vegas script extender installed, that's NVSE, and generally I'm going to work on the assumption that you followed the steps in part 1 of this video series. So what is Project Nevada? Well, Project Nevada is a very large and ambitious mod. It comes with a lot of different modules that allow you to change different aspects of the game. The core module gives you things like sprinting, charging, bullet time, toggleable zoom, etc. So you feel it feels a bit more FPS game friendly. It gives you things like the feeling of actually wearing a helmet. You've got a visor overlay and you can see damage actually occurring on the glass, which is really nice, gives you a very immersive feeling. And you have like explosive entry, which allows you to open locks and doors with explosives. There's a complete overhaul of the cybernetic implant system. They have an entire module devoted to that, which is really nice, adds a lot of extra features. There are enhanced vision modes. There is an equipment module which adds a lot of very cool new equipment. The cryo pistol, for example, that freezes your opponents. A scanner that will tell you all the details about your opponents, etc. And there's also a rebalance module, which lets you make the game a little tougher, a little bit more realistic, and a little bit more challenging, which is, for me, very good. But it's all customizable as well, so you can turn these features on and off. So all in all, it's one of those must-have mods for a lot of people playing New Vegas. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. So let's get started by downloading the files we're going to need. So if you go to the Project Nevada page and the file section, it's a single file you're going to need, just click the download with manager button and it will automatically start downloading to the Nexus Mod Manager. And once it's downloaded, select the mod by left clicking and then hit the activate button, and it will take a few seconds, maybe a minute, to get it all sorted. And once it does, it will bring up this little menu here that allows you to actually select and deselect different modules. I'm suggesting you leave all of the modules on. There's the core, cyberware, equipment and rebalance. I like all of the modules, but you can actually deselect any you don't want. And then click install. Now it asks you whether you would like to overwrite some things. Now you'll notice one of the things it's asking about is the mod configuration menu, which is slightly worrying, I realise, but for now click yes to all. The reason it was doing this is Project Nevada actually comes with a built-in version of the MCM mod. However, that built-in version only works for Project Nevada. None of your other mods will work. So what we need to do right now is reinstall MCM, because what we've just done is overwrite some critical files. I'm not totally sure how that will affect it. I think in actual fact it would probably still work. However, just as a safety measure, we're going to reinstall the mod configuration menu. And we're also going to deactivate and reactivate Unified HUD. I'll talk about that in a second. So, first thing, deactivate the mod configuration menu and activate it again. And click yes to all. So now, basically, anything that Project Nevada wrote over the top of this has been once again removed and the mod configuration menu files replaced. Again, I'm not totally sure if that's necessary, but I would recommend it. The other thing we're going to do is run the Unified HUD project. If you remember from video 1, this is a tool that basically allows you to use multiple mods that change the heads-up display. And Project Nevada is such a mod. So we're going to deactivate this and then immediately activate it. And you will notice it's detected Project Nevada now. So we'll hit install. Yes to all. And that is it. We've now installed Project Nevada. However, we're not quite finished. I mentioned at the start of the video I was going to show you what compatibility patches are. And Project Nevada is a great mod to show you that with because it has several compatibility patches. They're actually found on a separate page called the Project Nevada patches, and there are several of them. So if we go to the file section, the first one is the DLC support. This is support for all of the DLC in the game, so all 4 of them. So click download with manager to download that, and it will start downloading. It also has support for Eve. Now don't worry about that if you don't know what that is. You're probably not going to need that. It's also got support for WMX and WME. Now these are mods that enhance the modifications you can make to weapons, so laser sights, silencers, etc. Both of those mods are great mods, and I recommend using one of them. I definitely recommend using one of them. I use WMX. If you are curious about WMX, you can check out my Fallout New Vegas Mod Clinic Part 5 video where I covered weapons and things you can do with them. So I'm going to need this file. If you've got WME, you're going to need that file. If you have neither, obviously, you don't need either of them. So I click on that. And then I let those files download. Now the first one I'm going to do is the DLC support. Because I've got all the DLC, and I'm assuming you do as well, most people now have all the DLC, I'm going to select that and then activate. Now, again, ignore this message. Click no. Basically, what is going on here is the patch is at version 1.3, but the mod page is reporting everything to be 1.0. This is a bit of a mistake on the part of the mod author, but it is also a bit of a problem with the Nexus Mod Manager because it has one version for the page but separate versions for each file, and with a mod that has several files, all of which are at different versions, it can get confused. So in this particular case, click no. So what this has done, if I go and show you now, it has added all of these files. These are files for the DLC. Now I'm going to move these for now. Oh, first of all, I'm going to move the mod configuration menu up here. I like it up there. I'm going to move these compatibility patches up a little bit, up to where I see the Project Nevada files. I also noticed that the Project Nevada files are not selected, which is not good. So I'm going to do that first of all. The core ESM, the cyberware module, the equipment module, and the rebalance module, I want them all. These are the patches, dead money, and you'll notice the master list is falloutnv.esm, which is found at the top, dead money ESM, and Project Nevada core. These files must be present in your load order for this patch to work. If you have this patch selected and these 3 files are not found above it, your game will crash when you start. So for example, if I took the Project Nevada core file and deselected it, and I leave this one in, or any of them that use this, the game will crash when you start. It's the biggest cause of crash when start is that you've got some file missing above the one you've loaded. And what this file is actually doing is it's making the Project Nevada changes apply to all of the dead money content and areas. And the same is true for Honest Hearts, Old World Blues, Lonesome Road, etc. Now, the Gunrunner's Arsenal, this is not part of the main DLC, the main 4 story DLCs, but this is one of the small DLCs which I do recommend you use. If you don't have the Gunrunner's Arsenal, if you do not have the Gunrunner's Arsenal ESM, you must deselect this one. you'll notice it's got the Gunrunner's Arsenal ESM as a master. If you don't have this in, you will crash your game. So that's what those are. Now I'm going to go back to the Mods tab. I'm now going to add the WMX support for Project Nevada. Now Project Nevada adds quite a few weapons, but it also changes a few things, and it requires support with the WMX mod that changes similar things. So I'm going to activate this as well. Again, click no. Now this had no menu, didn't need one. I go back to my plugins and Project Nevada WMX. Now I'm going to move that back up. Now in this case, if you see where I've moved this, it requires the weapon mods expanded. And I've got the weapons mod expanded below it. That will also crash my game. So in actual fact, this has to come after Project Nevada and after WMX. I'm also noticing my Project Nevada equipment ESM is below some ESPs. Ordinarily, Nexus Mod Manager highlights all these in bold. For some reason in my current version of Nexus Mod Manager, it's not allowing me to select that. That could be due to the recent changes in load order, I'm not sure. However, ESM files always get loaded before ESP files. It actually doesn't matter where you put these. If I took this and put it here, it wouldn't matter. The game always loads ESM files first. So I've got all of my Project Nevada files together at the top, my weapon mods expanded and all of its compatibility patches, and the Project Nevada WMX compatibility patch below them all. As you see, this has got 4 master files, and all 4 of these files can be found above this one, and that is very important. Now there is one other thing we're going to do, and I'm going to show you in game. So as I start up the game, I get this little message telling me about the grenade hotkey, and you will notice down in the bottom right hand corner I actually have a grenade icon. Now it's very nice because it lets me see what grenade I have, and I have a grenade hotkey now, so I can now actually throw a grenade without actually having to equip it. You'll find out about that when you look into the mod. But of course, I've got one HUD installed. I don't want HUD icons, and that is what we've got to fix. So we're going to fix that now. Now the way we fix that is quite simple, and you're going to have to do this every time you install a mod that affects the heads-up display if you have the One HUD or the Immersive HUD mods installed. And what it's a very simple process. You need to deactivate and reactivate One HUD. But before you do that, whenever changing anything with the HUD, I always recommend deactivating Unified HUD first. So I've deactivated the Unified HUD. I'm then going to deactivate One HUD. I'm then going to activate One HUD. Now, when it installs this time, it's going to detect Darn's UI, and it also detects something by Project Nevada. That's what it needed. It needed to replace something Project Nevada installed with a version that allowed it to control it. And then finally, activate the Unified HUD and install yes to all. And that's it. If we go in game now, we should have the grenade icon hidden. And sure enough, once in game, as you can see, there is no grenade icon. As soon as I switch on the Immersive HUD, the One HUD, I press the I key, I get my grenade icon. Switch it off again, disappears. Now, the features of Project Nevada are all customizable through the mod configuration. So you can change an awful lot of things. There are even settings for hotkeys because, for example, we have bullet time, we have the grenade selector and the grenade throw button, so you can now throw grenades with just the press of a button, etc. To get a full list of the features for Project Nevada, you have to read the documentation. But there's so many things in this mod that it will keep you entertained for a long time. The rebalance allows you to change things like how fast you gain experience, how many perks you get. You want a perk every level. There you go, 1 perk every level. If you want to gain experience a little slower because the game definitely levels you too fast, you can do that, and so on. You can change all of these values. You can change the way stealth works, damage works, loot rarity, etc. And all in all, everything about this mod is very, very well done. So obviously I highly recommend it. Now you can also set up for the immersive HUD features for the, if you look at Project Nevada and Project Nevada Crosshair now, these are new options that have appeared since you've installed Project Nevada. And for example, I can say that when my weapon is out, I always want Project Nevada to show. That would be things like the grenade icon and the crosshair when my weapon is out as well. The dynamic crosshair is a very cool crosshair that comes with Project Nevada, which you will see as soon as you've installed. And so now if I pull my weapon out, you can see I've got my grenade icon and the dynamic crosshair. And you see how the dynamic crosshair works. When I move, it shows me a larger spread, and so on. And depending on the weapon you're using, depends on the spread. So it's completely customizable and integrates with other mods as well. In this case, the One HUD. But now you've got Project Nevada installed, you can play around with your bullet time, as I'm doing now. This is bullet time. You can play around with your sprinting. There you go, sprinting. And all the other features of Project Nevada. You also now know what a compatibility patch is and how to get them working. And you also know what to do when installing mods that change the heads-up display and may need a little tweaking in that department. And that's it for this tutorial. In the next part, I am going to cover weather mods and why you should use them, and obviously how to install them. I hope you join me for that, and until then, have fun.
Jingle, jangle, jingle,
Jingle, jangle,
as I go riding merrily along.
jingle, jangle.
And they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single?